How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about former Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman only getting 14 days in a prison, jail, or wherever she's going to go for her role in this big-time college entrance exam scandal. Now, we're going to talk about her, but also her contemporary, Lori Loughlin, who played Aunt Becky on Full House. But first, there is a lot to quote-unquote unpack here, as the cool kids would say. So I need to give you a history of this whole situation, how it came about, how Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin are involved, why she only got 14 days, what Lori Loughlin may get due to her own decisions, and more. First of all, back in 2011, there was, I think, 33 people led by William Rick Singer who decided to engage in fraud and bribery to get kids into college, probably their own kids. What they would do is pay people to take the SAT test for their kids. I mean, literally for their kids in the classroom, bubbling the sheet in place of their own kids to get a higher SAT score, and then bribing the test administrator to just look past that. Okay. Also, they would do things like they would Photoshop pictures of their kids on athletic pictures and send it to the school talking about, oh, okay, my child is on a field hockey team or on a road team or whatever, and they would try to get their kids into school through the athletics. So they had a pretty sophisticated thing, this organization, to get kids into school through fraudulent means, which is really the crime here, is fraud, money laundering, etc. The operation ballooned from the original 33 people back in 2011 to many more. I think Rick Singer said that they have helped over 750 families through the illicit means, through bribery and fraud and whatnot. Fast forward to 2019, you have the federals come in and execute what they've been doing through Operation quote-unquote Varsity Blues. And by the way, I think this is the biggest case ever for the U.S. Justice Department, but we'll move on from that. So you have everybody getting indicted, people going to their house, federals going to people's houses, taking them out, this, that, and the third, doing a whole perk walk. Everybody's on TV, pictures being taken. It was a whole big mess. So when that was going on, I'm thinking, okay, we're talking about big numbers, football numbers, penitentiary, like years in the penitentiary. And that was a general thought behind the whole thing. Why would you go through the trouble of having the federals get involved, going to their house, years long investigation, only to have 14 days in jail be the result? There's a few things that played into her sentence, in my humble opinion. First of all, what did she actually do? What she did was she paid Key Worldwide Foundation $15,000 to have somebody take the SAT test on behalf of her daughter. So like I said, rather than her daughter being there filling out bubbles, it was somebody else. And allegedly the score that the person achieved was much higher than her actual daughter got on the PSAT. So it definitely did help. The second thing is that Felicity Huffman is like in her 50s with no criminal history at all. So that played into her favor. Third thing, she had a plea deal. She pled guilty right away. So she cooperated right away. She probably snitched on everybody that they asked her to snitch on, maybe even including Lori Loughlin, the guy that runs the whole show, whoever she paid the money. So she's cooperating with the authorities, okay? Also, you are a Hollywood liberal with plenty of money. That does work in your favor. I was seeing things online, people talking about, oh, well, if they were black, it wouldn't matter if they were in Hollywood or not. They get 6 years in the penitentiary. Well, I have two words: juicy schmooye. Okay, this guy staged the actual hate crime with actors and everything involved, talking about, oh, I got beat up by MAGA hat wearing Trump supporters. They were calling me all types of N-words, this, that, and the third. They poured bleach on me, tried to lynch me. He tried to start a race war in Chicago, okay? He's a celebrity, put on social media, this whole big thing. And he probably sent himself that fake letter with the white substance in it. And he also had a criminal history, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had a DUI and some other stuff going on. And there were drugs involved with the whole situation, because there were texts between him and one of the Nigerian, quote unquote, white racists talking about, oh, can you give me this drug and that drug? So there was a lot of criminal things going on with Jussie Smollett, but the whole case got thrown out. But I digress for now. The point is that when you have Hollywood privilege, liberal privilege, money privilege, that seems to trump all. In Felicity Huffman's case, she's been ordered to pay 30 grand as a fine, 14 days in jail, like 200 hours of community service. And I think when she gets out, she'll have a year of supervised release, and that'll be it. Could she have gotten more time? Yes, 100%. She could have gotten more time, but would it have actually fit the crime? I don't really know. And like I said, she copped to a plea. Now, Lori Loughlin, on the other hand, did not make the same deal that Felicity Huffman did. She said, okay, I'm not guilty. I didn't do it. Let's take it to trial and see what happens. That's going to be kind of sticky. The jurors may go soft on her because of the case of Felicity Huffman. You know, how are you going to give her 20 years in the penitentiary when Felicity Huffman got 14 days in jail? It's just unfair. And I think the prosecutors should be on the same boat. They can't really shoot for the moon when they got nothing with Felicity Huffman. So it'd be interesting to see what happens to Aunt Becky. I mean, Lori Loughlin in this whole situation. She may get more time than Felicity Huffman due to not doing the whole plea deal and probably not snitching. Maybe they could go right now and do a plea. You might as well do a plea, because I think if you go to trial and spend money and time, you might not end up getting what you really want in the end. So is it even worth it from a financial point of view, from a time point of view? Is it worth it? Just do the deal right now and that'll be it. So at the end of the day, as I close, I think there is a lot of liberal privilege, money privilege, Hollywood privilege here, but also at a certain point, the law has to work properly. Why would you get years and years and years in jail for fraud? In this case, you're trying to get your kid into college. I mean, I'm not really sure what the sentence should be. As long as it's fair for everybody else, then I don't really have a problem with it. But I could tell you one thing as I close. You'll see cases like this kind of pop up where they try to say, all right, we're going to get him, we're going to nab him, this, that, and the third, and then that money pops up and says something different. I think people like Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, they are famous, so people just want them to get a lot of time, and I understand that. I think it probably should have been more time than what they got, but I think what they really want, when I say they, I mean the federal government, what they really want is William Rick Singer, the ringleader of the whole situation, because he's facing like 65 years, $1 million fine. That's what they really want, is a top dog. Sometimes you'll see some of the peons in the operation, or those that are not really understanding the scope of it, get lesser time if they snitch on the big dog. And I'm willing to bet you that everybody that has been charged snitched on whoever they could in this particular situation. You ain't talking about people that have really been behind the wall, people that have to go out in the street and fight every day and worry about being called a snitch. So I think the snitch factor, the money factor, all that good stuff pretty much weighed in the favor of Felicity Huffman, and it might work in the favor of Lori Loughlin, although she did not have a plea deal as of yet. So that's pretty much all I got. What say you? Do you think it's a case of liberal privilege, money privilege, Hollywood privilege playing out? Or is it deeper than that? Is it about them snitching on the big dog on top? How would it have played out if not for the money? I think people would have got more time, most likely, due to the high profile nature of it. But at the same time, the high profile nature is driven by their celebrity. So it's kind of a hard nut to crack, in my humble opinion. What should the appropriate punishment be for fraud, which is what they did? Should anyone else be charged? Speaking about the kids who knew about the fake SAT scores and whatnot, or should it be all on the parents because they were the driving force behind it? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.